Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers recap and analysis of the Pittsburgh Steelers' 26-18 victory over the New York Giants on Monday night. Pittsburgh 6-2 and all alone atop the AFC North as they head into their Week 9 bye. Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. So, a lot to talk about in this one. Offensively for the Steelers, you saw, I thought, more fluidity. I thought a really strong level of balance between the 20s, a faster start. Unfortunately, the big issue in this game was the red zone performance. 0 for 4. It's the reason why this game was close. You guys know it. And it was just small stuff where Pickens can't get a foot in bounds, get a face mask on Broderick Jones, a sack given up by Calvin Anderson, the third string, or second string, I should say, left tackle when Dan Moore left for a couple of snaps, stuff like that. But you got to convert there, good offenses convert there to put teams away, not allow that game to be as close and competitive as it ultimately was. But 426 yards of offense in this one. The offense was fluid. I thought Russ had a really good performance overall. The fumble late was obviously costly. TJ Watt getting it right back. That was massive, clearly. But you just saw this offense win in every way an offense can win, in the sense of run game, short passing game with some screens. The boot action has been really effective under Russell Wilson. And then the vertical shots downfield to Van Jefferson, to George Pickens, which was a laser from Wilson to Pickens for 43 yards. Perfectly placed. To Calvin Austin for his touchdown from 29 yards out. So you're just winning in a variety of different ways. It's not just one thing that's propelling you to victory. Thought in that Jets game, it was a lot of just kind of those jump balls, let your guy make a play, and Pittsburgh did, but it was a little, I don't want to say fluky, but maybe unsustainable. In this one, it felt just a lot more cohesive and fluid between the 20s. Got to finish those plays, but at least they weren't, it's all correctable, obviously. Pickens not getting a foot down. It's just little stuff like that you have to correct, but it's not things where they were super sloppy down there where they turned the ball over or just had miscommunication. There was the one with Van Jefferson, a missed opportunity there. But point is, you saw this offense again show signs of being more than what it's been, which was the ground and pound, just try to rely on your kicker to win the game, 17-14, which really has been the model since 2021, even in Ben's final year, but certainly post-Ben 2022, 2023, that has been the model and really how it was in a lot of ways when Justin Fields was the starter. So you're just seeing this offense look differently and look more competitive, and you sit there and think about what this offense is and what it still can be, and you think this is a unit with this defense and special teams that can win a playoff game. Najee Harris ran well, had a really hot start. The Giants are not a good run defense, but he just ran loose and fluid. I think this guy, you've seen more elusiveness, and just to go back to the term, he's been a looser runner. The spin move, the hurdle's always been there, but just overall throughout the season, he had dropped some weight this offseason, got down in the 230s. I don't know exactly where his weight is at, mid-season, but he just is a different kind of runner, but the line blocked well and gave him some holes and gave him some runway. He's a guy that does typically need a bit of runway to really get going, to create those game-breaking plays. Now he's got power and leg drive and still showed that and can still create, but a little different type of runner you've seen from Najee Harris this year, and particularly the last two games. Defensively in this one, you only give up 16 points. The Giants' offense had been one of the worst in football. There's certainly some good things to take away here, and this game unfolded similar to how a lot of games that Pittsburgh has won has unfolded. Really strong second half. Pittsburgh's outscoring the opposition 61-15 over the last three games in the second half. All victories there. Gave up 9 points in this one, which is actually more than they had been the last two games. They gave up 6 to the Raiders and shut out the Jets in Week 7 in the second half. They got pressure. They made splash plays late. And in the NFL, teams generally are going to move the ball. They're going to get yards. It's frustrating. There are issues to correct for sure. But the name of the game to me is, can you hold teams out of the end zone, and can you create splash plays? Can you take the football away? That's kind of the new era, because yards are just gonna happen because of the way the NFL is built and how offenses are structured, and it just comes with the territory. And Pittsburgh making those plays late in the game. TJ Watt beating Jermaine Illuminor around the right side to strip sack Daniel Jones and force that fumble and recover it. A huge moment there where the Giants, right off that Russ turnover, are in position to tie the game, and who knows what happens from there. So that's getting a lot of play, obviously, with Illuminor's comments about wanting to see TJ Watt on an island. I think Illuminor's a good player. I think he's a confident guy that just was trying to help his team out because they were a mess on the left side, and he knew that, the team knew that, and that played out in this one. So, it's getting a lot of play, but you get him on an island, and TJ Watt's going to win in those crucial moments, especially late game. There's just a clutch factor with TJ Watt that really makes him such a unique guy compared to the Myles Garretts of the world and et cetera. So you get that. You get the Beanie interception, 3 picks in 2 games. Pittsburgh, a little dicey, letting the Giants drive in that one, some pretty soft coverage, but making the big-time plays in those big-time moments, that has been the hallmark of this Steelers team, taking the football away. And it was good to get those sacks because they were so close. I mean, this game, the first half was all almost. And in some ways, this game was all about almost. Almost sacks in the first half. Highsmith just whooping on former Steeler Chris Hubbard, making his first start at left tackle, I think in his career, first game of the season. Tough spot to be in, obviously, and Highsmith made him pay. So getting those sacks from him late in that game, TJ Watt getting his sacks. You knew you were super, super close in second half. You finally got home. The touchdowns offensively, got some of those in the second half as well. So the game of almost in the first half became the actual plays in a lot of ways in the second half. Obviously, you talk about the run defense. It was really disappointing in this one. The Giants do not run the ball well. They don't run the ball often, which was kind of their problem coming into this one. And Pittsburgh just did not seem physical enough at the line of scrimmage and not keying the ball well enough and getting off of blocks. And I don't know. We'll have to check the tape, obviously. It's really hard to say for sure. Probably a variety of factors. It just felt too easy. The Giants were getting a push, and they got a good runner in Tyrone Tracy, but Tracy, before he got hurt, ran for $145. That's the second most rushing yards a rookie's ever recorded against the Pittsburgh Steelers, only behind Leonard Fournette, who I think ran for $185 or something several years back, of course, in his rookie season. So uncharacteristic for Pittsburgh to be that sloppy with run defense. You really helped the Giants have some balance in this one, and you just figured you could make the Giants one-dimensional, and you'd probably win the day easily that way. But because the Giants had a fairly steady run game, especially that 45-yard touchdown that helped bring them back into that game, can't have that kind of stuff. And so hopefully just a one-off thing. Got to get that cleaned up. Pittsburgh was healthy overall. Really no excuses in this one, so need to be better there. Of course, I got to talk special teams and Calvin Austin and just his overall performance. 2 touchdowns, a 29-yard catch, and the big 73-yard punt return touchdown that got the first score, the official score that stood of the game. Pittsburgh's first punt return touchdown since Deontay Johnson, his rookie year in 2019. Austin's first punt return, of course, as a Pittsburgh Steeler and in the NFL. And so big time play there, good blocking. Austin showing that speed. He had that foot injury his rookie year. Wonder, speed guys with foot injuries, will they retain their speed? He's never lost his speed. That was evident. The training camp, he came back, the guy can still fly. So kudos to him. Dude's worked super hard. Happy to see the big plays pay off. The volume really has not been there for him, but whenever he gets the ball, he's making some big-time plays throughout the season. So that was a huge play. Pittsburgh continues to show splash on special teams. Did not block a kick or field goal. You're almost disappointed when that doesn't happen. You're thinking, oh man, they could have got that one. So that streak ends, but another splash play on special teams is a difference maker in this game. No question about that. The negativity in this one, just to quickly make mention of that. Again, red zone inefficiency, run defense. Dante Jackson had his worst game as a Steeler at corner. Got picked on, gave up some big plays to Slayton. Their chunk plays also aided them in hanging around this game. They probably didn't have the offense to fluidly have 10, 12-play drives, but they got chunk plays to Slayton, which was a big factor. The big run by Tracy as well. Just can't have that kind of stuff. And Broderick Jones at right tackle was, again, problematic and harmful to Pittsburgh's own cause. And this one giving up a sack and the penalty that took off a touchdown to Pickens. One bad run block, another got blown up. So I don't know what's going to happen there. When Dylan Cook comes back and gets activated, which will hopefully be for the Commanders game, I would consider a change there. I don't know if Pittsburgh will, but we'll deal with that afterwards. But Pittsburgh 6-2, first place into the bye. Got the Ravens and Bengals playing each other this Thursday night. Of course, there'll be someone having an advantage and somebody not. But let's just say the Bengals beat the Ravens, and the Ravens are now 5-4. Pittsburgh 6-2. Of course, you've not played an AFC North game yet. You're going to face Baltimore twice this season, but you're going to be in a really good spot entering Week 10 against Washington. So very happy overall with how the first half of the season has gone. So I'm sure I missed a bunch. We'll recap it all on the podcast on Tuesday morning and covered for the channel, and we'll have our live stream on this upcoming Monday, a week from Tuesday. So you guys get the idea. This upcoming Monday, Dave and I will have the live stream. Didn't have it on Monday, the day of the Giants game, because obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers were playing, and there was really no point in doing that. So anyway, I'll wrap things up here, and happy with the victory. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.